Hey, how's it going? And today I'm going to show you how to trigger an event with the sequencer. And this is a pretty cool thing. There's a lot to it. And this is just a real quick and dirty illustration of it, of what you can do. And this one is basically just a word by word message that's kind of cool. So if I hit play, this is what we see. It's just this message: have a great day. Have a great day. And it just keeps looping forever. It doesn't stop. So if you just want some kind of message or something to keep displaying, or you could just have it display once, it's just pretty cool how this works. But I'm doing this because I'm getting ready to do a tutorial about the difference between the sequencer and the take recorder. And one of the functions of the sequencer is the ability to trigger events like this is triggering the text render to display. So that's one of the functions of the sequencer, one of the powers that it has. So anyway, I'll be back in just a minute. This is really pretty easy to do, and we'll get this done. So to get started on this, what we're going to do, we're just in the third person template right here, and we're just going to go ahead, and I'm going to try to go as fast as possible on this. We're just going to select this text renderer. It's kind of hard to select. There it is. And we're just going to drag it up here and pull it back there. And if I hit play, it's kind of up high there in the scene, isn't it? So I want to bring it back where I can see it a little bit better. So let's just bring it down and maybe push it back a little bit that way. And I hit play. We want to be able to see our have a nice day message. So right there is good enough. Okay, and that's that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a blueprint. So to do that, we make sure it's selected. We come right over here to that little icon, click it, and it's going to create a blueprint. Now, since it is a blueprint, we're just going to call this BP message and go select. And it's going to open up a blueprint. We're just going to go ahead and dock this up top. And there's this. If we don't want this to be displayed, and you may not want it to be displayed, we can turn it off as visible. So it's kind of weird because we won't be able to see it at all, but we don't want it, probably that to be displayed at all. So we know it's there. We can turn it back on if we need it. So to do this, all we're going to do is go into the event graph. We don't need these nodes here. We're going to create two variables. One is going to be a text variable. It's actually an array, but it's going to be a text. And to set it as array, we just come over here and set it as array. We're going to click one more time, and we're going to create an index here, index there, and this is going to be an integer, and it is not an array. It's just a single variable. Now on our text here, we want to hit expose on variable and instance editable. We'll get a warning if we don't select both of those, and it tells you why. It just makes this just exposed as a pin when spawning. I don't know that we're necessarily going to need that, but we'll go ahead and do that. And so to get started on this, we're just going to we're going to create a event that's going to be called. So we're going to go add custom event. And this is what this is all about, right? This is about the sequencer triggering event. Well, we have to create an event for it to call. So that's what we're doing. And I'm just going to call this display word. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and drag off of here and get our array. And then we'll drag off of here. And you'll see that we have the option here to get a reference or get a copy. We actually want to get a copy because we don't want to change what's in there. We don't want the reference. And then we're just going to drag our index value here. And this is what's going to cycle through our array once we get it set up. So we need to compile and save. The index value by default is going to be 0, which will be the first item in the array. And then what we need to do, just a couple more things we need to do here, is we need to set our text. So to do that, we can just drag off of here and go set text. Right, no, that's font, set text there, like that. And then we can simply just plug this into here. And this is going to go into here. And then we do need to increment our value. So we're just going to right click, and I think we can just search for increment. This one right here. And what we'll do is just so every time it's called, it's going to increment by 1. So we'll just pop that in there. And that's almost all we have to do, except we need to put some values in our array. So I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to keep it simple because I don't want to be calling a lot of stuff. So we'll just click this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and we're just going to say have a great day. Like that. That's all we're going to put in our array, and we'll compile and save that. And then we need to set a reset function. So this is going to loop on our sequencer. So we're going to go ahead and create another add custom event right here. And we're just going to call this reset. And we'll be able to call these from our sequencer blueprint. And then we're just going to grab our index here, go set, and pop that in here. And then that'll reset it to 0. And then we're done. That's all we need to do. This is just real simple. Okay, and now we're back over here. We can go ahead and right click and create our cinematic level sequencer right here. I can just leave it called sequencer, new level sequence. And let's go ahead and double click into it, just like that. And then we're going to, with our text renderer selected in the scene, we're just going to go add to sequencer. It's called BP message now because we turned it into a blueprint. And then if we come over here and click right there, you'll see we have this option to add an event trigger. And that's what we're going to do. We're add an event trigger. And this is what allows us to, we can, through the keyframes, we can call through a blueprint to make a call to this every time that we want a word to display, one of our words to display. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a keyframe right there. And we're going to right click on the keyframe itself and go to properties, come down here to unbound and go create new endpoint. And this is going to create a brand new, it's a blueprint for the sequencer itself. And if that's the BP message that we just built over here. You see it's already wired up for the communication, for the direct blueprint communication. We're going to drag off here and go get our reset, because that's our very first frame. And then it's going to make a call to our reset. And that's our very first one we're going to do. If I come back here, and let's say I move this down to, I don't know, however fast you want the message to display. Let's say every 15 frames, we want something to pop up. So that's about a half a second. Let's make it a second. So let's drag it to 30. Okay, and then we're going to add another keyframe here. Right click on it, properties, here, create new endpoint, and this is going to call to our BP message here. And this time though, we're going to make the first call, so we're going to say display word, and it wires up automatically. And then we just have to repeat this process for the other 3 words. So I'm going to drag this to, let's see, I'm set at 60, so we'll go here to 60, add a keyframe there, right click, properties, create new endpoint, drag off of here, display word, comes in wired automatically, compile, save, go back, drag to 90, add a keyframe, right click, properties, create new endpoint, drag off of here, display word, there it is, and then we just have to do one more, back here, drag to 120, add a keyframe, right click, create new endpoint, drag off, display word, and that should do it. And if we look at this, we can drag this back here so it comes back around a little bit faster. Okay, now we're pretty much done. Let's go ahead and save everything. Now all we have to do is just drag our level sequence into the scene. And when we do, it has a details panel over here. We can set it on autoplay and put it to loop indefinitely. And it's a little bright in here. So if I click on the scene, I should be able to hit Control L and let's just get a little bit more late in the afternoon look there. And if I did it right, I hit play, it should cycle through the words. So, oh, is it because I know, you know what it is? It's because I turned the visibility of the I turned the visibility of the text renderer off, so we can't see it at all. So I kind of messed up. So what I'll do is I'll just go into the text renderer here. It needs to be visible. But what I can do is just go ahead and go clear this out and go down here to hidden in game. No, I don't want to hit it in game. I just don't want any text. So let's just get rid of that text. How about that? And compile and save. Now it should work. There we go. Have a great day. Yep. That's cool, right? It's cool because the functionality of the sequencer is what this is all about. So this is just, you see how I'm playing in the game and the sequencer is running on its own. But we use the sequencer for so many different things, and this is one of the things that we use it for, is to trigger an event. In this case, we're triggering the text render to display different words as it kind of cycles through an array. So that's just one function of the sequencer. And it's working while we're playing the game. So the sequencer can be called upon during the gameplay to trigger events and also to perform animations. But that's just part of what the sequencer can do. It's primarily used, one of the main things you can use it for is to actually render out video footage. And that's what we're going to get into in the next couple of videos. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care. Have a great day. And I'll talk to you next time.